presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Houston.
So far this series, the Astros have spoiled the Phillies' late-season charge, taking 2 of the last 3 games. Today, the ace of the Phillies staff, Roy Halladay, meets Jordan Lyles as the Astros look to take 3 of 4 from the Titans. Astros and Phillies are next on Fox Sports Houston. Live from Minute Maid Park in downtown Houston, Texas, Hyundai presents Sunday Baseball. Today it's the finale of this 4-game series between the Astros and the Philadelphia Phillies. Good afternoon, Bill Brown and Jim DeShays, to see if the Astros can take 3 of 4 from the Phillies, who had a 7-game winning streak when they came to town, JD.
It's already been a successful weekend for the Astros, winning 2 of the first 3. And now the Phillies need this win in the worst way, and they send their ace, Roy Halladay, to the mound. Good matchup today. In contrast, Roy Halladay, the veteran, 35 years of age, 198 and 99, 8-time All-Star. He's won a Cy Young in both leagues, up against Jordan Lyles, just 21 years of age, 6 and 19 in his major league career, but he's got a lot of pitching ahead of him. He was the Astros minor league pitcher of the year in 2010.
It can be a winning homestand for the Astros. They've won 2 games via shutout on this homestand. Can they take 3 of 4 from the Phillies? The answer begins next.
Astros conclude a 4-game series with the Astros having a shot to take it 3 out of 4. The Astros have won 2 of the first 3. They are on the field. Greg Lucas here down on the field. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays are upstairs as the umpires take their positions. Bill and JD are all ready, guys.
Thank you, Greg. And the finale of the homestand showing you the Hyundai Phillies batting order. Jimmy Rollins at shortstop, Juan Pierre left field, Chase Utley second base, Ryan Howard first base, Carlos Ruiz catcher, John Mayberry center field, Dominic Brown right field, Michael Martinez third base, Roy Halladay pitcher.
What has Jordan Lyles been up to lately? Well, Tuesday he pitched against the Cubs and he pitched 5 shutout innings, allowed 2 hits, a couple of walks, struck out 5. Jordan now 4-11 with that win with a 5.33 ERA. Defensively, it's Martinez, Maxwell, and Paredes in the outfield. Jimmy, a late addition as Fernando Martinez was initially in the lineup and then scratched. You see the infield of Dominguez, Green, Altuve, Moore, and Carlos Corporan will do the catching this afternoon.
Jimmy Rollins is ready to go. First pitch to him is ball 1 from Jordan Lyles. Rollins begins the day at 249. He has 20 homers. He's driven in 61 runs. He has 3 hits, including a homer in this series. That homer came leading off the game. And here comes a deep drive to right field. And Jimmy Paredes over into right center. That one bangs off the wall. Maxwell picks it up. Rollins will check in at second base with a leadoff double. That's the 3rd straight game he has led off with a hit. A homer Friday night, a single last night. He stole second and third after that, and now a double.
Through one more game in this series, he had a chance to lead off for the cycle. And this is just an elevated fastball out over the middle of the plate. He hit this ball probably better than the home run the other day, but to a deeper part of the ballpark, off the fence in front of the Astros bullpen, and a nice play here by Maxwell, because if that gets by him, Rollins gets at least 3.
Now it's bunted by Juan Pierre, and Carlos Corporan spins and throws to Scott Moore at first. Pierre sacrificing Rollins to third on out number 1 from 2 to 3.
Pierre, a very speedy guy, an excellent bunter. He had notions of a base hit there. That was one of those worst case scenario bunts. If I don't get the knock, at least I get my man over to third base and give Halladay a better chance of starting his game with a lead.
Now the infield comes in with Chase Utley batting. Utley, a 256 hitter with 10 homers, has driven in 32. And in this series, he's 3 for 10. He's driven in a couple. Ryan Howard is on deck.
The infield in here out of deference to Roy Halladay. Tony D just doesn't know how much his guys are going to be able to do against Halladay, so he's going to pull the infield in here, do everything he can to try to prevent this 1 run from scoring. Even though the downside is with the infield in, the hitter's got a better chance of getting a base hit himself in a potential big inning.
It's no balls, 2 strikes to Utley. He started 65 games. He's been on base in 57 of those. Sidelined for the first couple of months. The knee problem. Missed spring training. Very important guy to the Phillies, though. They're 3 games out in the wild card race right now. They're playing 500 ball, 73 and 73. Hit high, and that's to right field. Jimmy Paredes underneath it. We're out number 2, and easily Jimmy Rollins comes home from third on a sac fly to make it 1-0 Phillies. Utley picking up his 33rd run batted in.
Nice execution there after the leadoff double by Rollins. Bunt to get him over, and then Utley on 0-2 handling a high inside fastball to give the Phillies the lead with that sac fly.
Now Ryan Howard with the infield shifting around is a batter with 2 outs and nobody on, with 10 homers, 44 runs batted in. He carries a .228 batting average. Howard is 3 for 12 with 4 runs batted in this series. Since August 6th, he's driven in 34 runs in 36 games. There's strike 1 to Howard.
First pitch changeup and a dandy there from Jordan. Fastball, curveball, changeup. He'll also cut his fastball. Tony DeFrancesco talking in the dugout this morning talking about the importance of the changeup for Lyles. Likes his fastball, likes his curveball. Says he needs to develop that changeup.
It's 1-2. In his last start with those 5 shutout innings JD talked about, he got the win over the Cubs 1-0. And the Astros won a second straight shutout win of this homestand last night, 5-0. Howard strikes out. It's 1 run, 1 hit for the Phillies. Roy Halladay gets an early run to work with. The Astros come up in just a moment. Day starting lineup for Tony DeFrancesco. Jose Altuve second base, Jimmy Paredes right field, Scott Moore first base, Justin Maxwell center field, Matt Dominguez third base, Carlos Corporan catcher, JD Martinez left field, Tyler Green shortstop, Jordan Lyles pitcher.
Roy Halladay has made 4 starts against the Astros in his career. He's 2-1 with a 1.16. He's allowed 1 run or no runs in 3 of those 4 starts. Defensively, he has Pierre, Mayberry, and Brown in the outfield. Martinez gets to start at third base. Rollins, Utley, Howard round out the infield. Carlos Ruiz is behind the plate.
Here at Minute Maid Park, where the Astros on this homestand are 3-3, and overall they're 31-43. It's Jose Altuve leading it off. And he fouls that one away, strike one. 294 for Altuve. 5 homers, 34 runs batted in.
Halladay, just a complete pitcher. Very aggressive with his fastball. He sinks it, he cuts it, has a good curveball.
Foul ball off the leg of Altuve.
Usually works at the bottom of the knees, keeps the ball down. Had a solid year, not a spectacular year. Dealt with injury problems earlier, so he's only made 22 starts, 10-7 with a 4.01 ERA. Got touched up by Miami last time, allowing 5 runs in 6 1/3. He did win that game, however.
It's 1-2. As you saw, Altuve's had a good series, going 6 for 13 with an RBI. He was going to get a rest today, but Jed Lowry's leg is sore. And Tony D wanted one or the other of those in the lineup. They rips a drive to left field. Here's Pierre back, leaping at the wall. And Juan Pierre robs him right up against that left field wall. Great timing on the leap by Pierre.
Yeah, really well played by the veteran. Perfectly timed. Takes away extra bases from Altuve.
And he was looking to see what he would encounter on that wall.
A line.
Yeah. He went into the lime. He hit the soft part of it. Freshly squeezed for out number 1.
You want fruit with that? Yeah, give me a lime. Just a little squeeze of lime will be good.
Ooh.
There's a bit of a tumbling split finger pitch there from Halliday. Didn't have a good, crisp, sharp movement.
Jimmy Paredes was inserted in the lineup in right field. There is strike one. Fernando Martinez originally was the right fielder, and he was scratched before game time. Paredes at 196 has 3 runs batted in. We weren't told the reason yet on that. It's no balls, 2 strikes, but the lineup was adjusted a little bit. And Scott Moore moving down to the number 3 spot in the order. That's poked on the ground to third. Michael Martinez, 2 outs. And you saw those Halliday numbers that JD talked about against the Astros. 2-1 with a 1.16 ERA for 4 starts. Here at Minute Maid Park, he is 2-0 with an ERA of 0. This is the first time he's faced the Astros since September 14th of last year here at Houston, when he won a 1-0 game, going the distance, scattering 6 singles and 1 walk. And the Phillies clinched their 5th consecutive postseason berth with that win. A strike one to Scott Moore. 233, 7 homers, 21 runs batted in for Moore. Brett Wallace also is banged up. He has a hyperextended right elbow now, and he's been nursing that for a few games, so he gets today off and tomorrow. Tomorrow's a travel day. The Astros head for St. Louis. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Tony DeFrancesco had a rare bit of time with the media today on the bench because there was no pregame work on the field. There were a couple of parades, a Boy Scout parade and a dog parade.
Then they just combine them and have Boy Scouts parading dogs.
Line drive hit to left center. Moore's aboard with a 2-out single for Justin Maxwell.
That could be a good fit, wouldn't it?
It does. Really does. Well, one of the things we talked about during the extended media chat with Tony D was the man who's batting right now, Justin Maxwell. He said, well, we were taking a look at his numbers, and the numbers are 16 homers, 46 runs batted in, a 240 batting average in 267 at bats. He said, he projects to be about a 30 home run hitter if he plays every day. Currently on a career high 9-game hitting streak for Justin. He's hit .333 with 3 homers and driven in 7 in the last 9 games.
Pretty solid defender. So the question becomes going forward, a lot of strikeouts, low batting average, but does the whole package merit everyday play next year?
Right.
So that's how you get to that 25-30 home run. You got to play almost every day, and so you live with the strikeouts and the lower batting average to get the power.
1-1. During September, he's put together a .958 OPS, including a .625 slugging percentage. So Maxwell really putting on a burst here at the end.
Yeah, well, you do that, and you're good to go. Nobody's going to question whether you're in the lineup or not. That's
yeah, and you leave them remembering the best at the end. 1-2 to Justin. Well, the Phillies had that shutout loss here last night, 5-0 to Dallas Keuchel in the bullpen, but they got a lift when the Cardinals lost to the Dodgers late in the bottom of the 9th. There's a strikeout to end the first inning. No runs, a hit, and a man left. Yes, the Dogs paraded in pretty big numbers today, and now they are watching a game that is 1-0 Phillies after 1.
Enjoy a cold one to look forward to Miller time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Well, the Astros down 1-0, but it's early. The Astros have won 2 out of 3. Here's Brownie again.
And it's Carlos Ruiz leading it off, Greg. It's 1-0 on that Rollins double, a sac bunt, and a sac fly by Pierre and Utley. Ruiz now, with 14 homers, has driven in 60, and with a .336 batting average. He's had just an outstanding year. Miles with the foul ball to open the second inning. Strike one to Ruiz. Miles has pitched just once in his career against this club with no decision. That's in for a strike. And it's 0-2. Dale Scott is the home plate umpire for this finale of the homestand. Ball's hit to third. Dominguez over to Moore. 1 out. The Phillies have won 16 of their last 22. They go to New York next. They are 5-10 against the New York Mets this year. And they did get a lift when the Dodgers rallied to win that game from the Cardinals with 2 in the bottom of the 9th last night. But nonetheless, they have some teams to climb over if they're to reach postseason play with that 3-game deficit right now. John Mayberry's had a nice series. 5 hits and 4 runs batted in to get him to 14 homers, 46 runs batted in for the season. Strike one to Mayberry. Phillies are 9th in runs scored in the National League. Mayberry checked to swing. 1-1. It's a ball and 2 strikes for Jordan Lyles. In that 1-0 win over the Cubs, he gave up just 2 hits in his 5 innings, but he threw 94 pitches in the 5 frames. 5 relievers followed him to the mound.
Yeah, that's a tough win to get there. 1-0 win when you only go 5. Bullpen did an excellent job. But the bullpen, for the most part, the last 10 days or so has been pretty darn good.
It really has. Bullpen ERA for the month of September is 3.27. Tony DeFrancesco said he'd really like to have 3 relief pitchers from the left side. That's a strikeout looking. That's number 2. Likes those lefties, especially against a club like the Phillies.
Well, it's September. Just put out a casting call. See if any lefties floating around town this afternoon. Here are the wild card standings. Atlanta comfortably out in front for that first wild card position. Then it's it's a dog race is what it is. The Cardinals and the Dodgers tied for the 2nd spot, but Pittsburgh hanging in there. Milwaukee and the Phillies, despite losing 2 of 3 so far this weekend, still with a shot. Obviously, all those clubs feel like they have a shot. A lot will depend on the schedule, who the opponent is, whether they're playing at home or on the road, things of that nature.
1-1 for Jordan Lyles, working to Dominic Brown. Bouncing that one for ball 2.
See if these late inning wins for the Dodgers over the Cardinals spark that club a little bit. LA really hasn't been scoring at all. 2 nights ago they scored 6. But prior to that, I think they'd scored 7 or 8 all week heading into that game. And then the late come from behind win last night. See if that kind of takes the pressure off a little bit and gets them going.
Dominic Brown takes a 2-out walk. That's the first walk for Lyles. Yeah, they had a walk-off. Juan Rivera got the game-winning hit off Jason Mott. But Clayton Kershaw is down with a hip problem, and he's going to see a doctor. He might not be able to pitch again this year. Michael Martinez, making his 30th start of the year, has a .156 average, 2 homers. He's driven in 7. Brown's one by a drawn in third baseman Dominguez into left field for hit number 2 for the Phillies. Gets Halladay to the plate.
See, Dominguez is playing well in and off the line to take away a potential bunt, and Martinez able to exploit that and slap it by him in the left for a knock. In the Tony Gwynn hole, 5.5 hole between third and short.
That's for sure. 163 for Halladay. He's driven in 2. Strike 1 to him. JD mentioned his career record, 198 wins, 99 losses. 1 win shy of being 100 games over 500 for his career. Only 25 pitchers have finished that many games over 500 for their major league careers. No balls, 2 strikes.
Wonderful old Hoss Radbourn did it.
Might very well have. Randy Johnson did it. Pedro Martinez, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, Mike Mussina. Strikeout ends the top of the second inning for Jordan Lyles with no runs a hit. 2 men stranded. 1-0 Phillies.
Phillies as we go to the bottom of the second. In Holy Toledo, it's a Blue Star Gala saluting Hall of Fame broadcaster Milo Hamilton. Join us here at Minute Maid Park on Tuesday, October 16th, as we celebrate Milo and his 27 seasons of broadcasting Astros baseball. There'll be a cocktail reception, entertainment, and dinner. And your sponsorship of this event benefits the Astros In Action Foundation. Reserve your table today at astros.com/community. Guys.
Thank you, Patty. 1-0 Phillies here. Roy Halladay on the mound. Matt Dominguez coming into the batter's box. If Matt adds this guy to his list of home runs surrendered, that's going to be impressive. He's hit 4 homers this year, driven in 10 runs. He went deep off Aroldis Chapman to win a game in Cincinnati just over a week ago, and then he took Johnny Cueto deep. 2 very fine pitchers.
And not a ton of big league at bats yet for Dominguez. He had 61 coming into play today, but in a fairly small sample. You have to like what you've seen from Matt Dominguez as you contemplate the 2013 Astros. You're starting to feel more and more comfortable about third base.
Martinez at third for the Phillies. Makes the low throw. It's scooped out of the dirt by Howard. 1 out.
Because he can flat out play the position.
Really can.
And it looks like he's going to be able to handle the bat pretty well too. Even if he's a guy who doesn't hit for average, and I'm not saying he won't, but he gives you 20-25 home runs and plays outstanding third base. It's 260. He'd be above average.
Yes, sir. Carlos Corporon with 3 homers, 9 runs batted in, and a .270 average, making his 4th start since he was recalled September 4th. Fouls it for strike 1, and Tony DeFrancesco using 3 catchers, keeping everybody fresh here in September. Last night, Jason Castro got the call. He had 2 hits and scored 2 runs. And Chris Snyder was the catcher Friday night.
By the way, Haas Radborn did win 100 games. He was 100 games better than 500.
Okay.
I had to know.
Well, yeah. No balls, 2 strikes. Roy Halladay joining the elite. As you mentioned, he's won Cy Young awards in both leagues. He's pitched a no-hitter. This year he missed 42 games. The right latissimus dorsi strain. Came back from that in mid-July. The Phillies were 15-27 when he was out. Off-speed pitch is outside, and it's 1-2.
You do not want to give the Phillies 4 runs when Halladay's on the mound.
What's the record?
He's 111-0 in his career when he's given a lead of 4 or more runs. If the Phillies go up 4, you might as well just pack up the gear.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And yet, he checks in to this game with an ERA of 4.01 and a 10-7 record. Certainly far from his best year. The off-speed stuff is looking good for him. He gets a strikeout. That's number 2.
Split finger pitch. Catches Carlos out in front a little bit. Good downward action on that splitter.
Halladay in May had an ERA of 6.11 with a 1-3 record. So a pretty good chance he was hurt part of that time because he went on the DL at the end of the month. J.D. Martinez with strike 1. 241, 11 homers, 55 runs batted in.
Yeah, he's using his curveball a little bit more frequently now, and I think his velocity's down a click or 2.
It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
And at 89 with a lot of his fastballs, you go back a couple of years and he was routinely 92, and it was just that late movement. You couldn't tell it was either going to go right or left when it got to home plate. The hitters had no clue that good late movement. And you just slide it off the barrel either towards the end or in on your knuckles and induce a ton of weak contact.
Two balls, 2 strikes to J.D. Martinez, who's toying with the idea of playing some winter ball. Halladay's only the 5th pitcher in history to win the Cy Young in both leagues. Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, Gaylord Perry. That's rocked to center field. Hit very well. Mayberry on the run. Mayberry stretches out, can't reach it. It's up off the top of Towles Hill. Goes behind the flagpole. He heads for third base. And it's a stand-up triple for J.D. Martinez. Very well hit ball to dead central.
This is fun. Looks like a split finger pitch again. And that one, like the one Altuve hit, it just didn't have that sharp action, just kind of tumbling a little bit. But around the flagpole she goes. J.D. able to leg it out. Obviously, with 2 outs, you can't afford to be thrown out at third base there, but that was clearly a triple. Yeah, he made a wise move not to chase that thing around the pole. That would have been kind of fun. See him get wedged in back there.
Tyler Green with strike 1 on the fastball.
This is good thinking. Heads up by Mayberry.
Very much so. Otherwise, it's 1-1. And he's stuck in there between the wall and the flagpole. And the pail of water is needed to get him down from there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Can't remember too many balls like that up there on Towles Hill, can you?
I can't remember one going around the pole like that.
One of the nuances of this ballpark, seldom seen.
And that's kind of been the beauty of that hill over the years, is that it's in play. It's a factor, but not that often.
No.
Not so much as like, okay, come on. You know, just every now and then something kind of fun happens up there.
That was the third triple for J.D. Martinez this year. Now it's 3 balls, 1 strike to the number 8 hitter with Lyles on deck. Yankees lead the Rays 5-0 in the third. Matt Moore gave up a homer to Russell Martin, and then he threw a pitch behind Curtis Granderson's head. Benches were worn, and Joe Madden was tossed out of the game. That's a strike, and it's a full count on Tyler Green. Tony DeFrancesco likes the idea of Green playing with Altuve, giving him that power threat at shortstop that Lowry presents when he's in there. Has it back. Halladay surrendered just 14 homers, 145 innings. As far as the Astros are concerned, he's been nothing but tough against them in all of his 4 career starts. He's allowed 1 earned run or none, 3 of those 4 career starts against Houston.
He's got an ERA of 0 here at Minute Maid Park in 2 starts.
There's a walk. Green is aboard with Martinez at third for Jordan Lyles now.
Just an unwillingness to give in there for Halladay with Green up and the pitcher coming up next.
Lyles takes a look over at Dave Clark, giving signs. Lyles has 5 hits and 33 at bats, a 152 average. He has 3 runs batted in. One of his hits a double. Came into pinch run the other night and scored the go-ahead run. Strike 1. Halladay in his career has walked 548, struck out 2,049. Bounce to shortstop. Rollins takes it over to first. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. A fun triple by J.D. Martinez. Taking the center fielder Mayberry up around the pole on Towles Hill, but he's stranded at third, and it's 1-0 Phillies.
Anderson Cancer Center making cancer history. And it was a great moment near the end of the career of Jeff Bagwell in 2005. First big league hit since mid-May. Baggy singled in Willie Taveras in the bottom of the ninth to beat Milwaukee 2-1. The Astros with a half-game lead in the wild card race. Of course, Jeff had been suffering that chronic shoulder problem. Wasn't playing much. That was this moment in history for the Astros. This moment for Mexican League baseball. The first no-hitter ever pitched on Mexican soil by Martin Digo. Now, he's a Hall of Famer. We hope Bagwell will be a Hall of Famer, too. He's up for the vote again. He's in the Texas Sports and Texas Baseball Hall of Fames. As we get back to action, here's Brownie.
Thank you, Greg. It's 1-0. Jimmy Rollins has scored that run, and he gets a hook from Jordan Lyles leading off the third inning. He led off the first inning with a double to right center field and then came home on an Utley sacrifice fly. Lyles delivers a ball, and that makes it 1-1. Final meeting of the season between these two clubs. The Houston club has won 276, the Philadelphia club 289 in their all-time series. It began with a season series sweep by the Phillies over the Colt 45s in 1962, 17-0 in games.
Wow. I hope there was a brawl.
Let's
hope
hope.
the Colts took umbrage.
Yeah. 2 balls and 2 strikes. What a pounding. But more recently, the Astros have had the Phillies number more so than any other National League club. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Since 2004, the Astros are 34-23 against the Phillies, tops in the league. Rollins draws a walk. That's number 2 for Lyles.
This one's more likely to hurt him. The last one was last inning with 2 outs. Dominic Brown now leadoff walk to Rollins, who can really make things happen with his legs.
Yes, he can. Juan Pierre, who dropped down that bunt, and it went as a sacrifice in the first to get Rollins to third base, comes up now. The Phillies, with Rollins, an adept base stealer who stole second and third last night, have some options. Throw goes over. Phillies lead Major League Baseball in both stolen base percentage, 83.3%, and in catchers caught stealings. And Rollins, with 29 and 34 tries, draws some attention there.
It's always the challenge for a pitcher when you get a guy like Rollins on base to make sure you do your due diligence, keeping in tight, but don't let it affect your approach to home plate. And you see there trying to be quick to home, flies open a little bit, and the ball sails up and away to Pierre. Primary focus still has to be the guy in the batter's box.
Minga's in tight at third. That's a strike, and that makes it 1-1 for Jordan Lyles.
Pierre been a good hit and run man over the years. He's a guy who you don't mind putting a hit and run play on because you're not worried about suppressing his power by making him swing at a bad pitch.
Pitch out. 2-1.
Tony D much more aggressive with the pitch out than probably any manager we've seen here in a long time. Any manager I can't recall.
Now this is a good hit and run count. The throw goes over to first. Well, under Tony D, the Astros are 7-7 in the month of September.
You know, there is value in the pitch out even when the guy's not going, because it sends a message to the other manager and to anybody who's keeping a scouting report as well that, hey, this guy likes to pitch out, so you got to be careful. I mean, there's a downside to it too. Obviously, you put another ball up on the scoreboard, put your pitcher behind in the count a little bit. But again, there is value even if the guy's not going. You know, people say, he pitched out and he wasn't going, bad call. Well, maybe it'll check a base runner in the future. Manager might not play it as aggressively for fear of the pitch out.
Fouled away. Rollins took a quick step towards second and then stopped that time. There are a lot of different techniques that both a pitcher and a base runner can use in situations like this, when there's very close vigilance paid to that runner at first. Sometimes the runner will just start and then come to an abrupt stop. Everybody on the infield a little uptight because of his base stealing acumen. So maybe he can get somebody moving a little bit, get him out of position for the hitter. Foul back. Catcher's a little bit on edge, and with a left-handed batter, it's tougher for the catcher to see what's going on with Rollins off first base too.
And managers would tell you that's something they wish their base runners would do more often. Hard couple of steps off that secondary lead.
Snap throw to first. He's diving back in. It's a real cat and mouse game here.
It comes into the category of playing the whole game. You know, if you bluff a go, maybe you get a middle infielder distracted a little bit, or he starts to break the cover and it creates a hole for your hitter. But you know, I imagine the base runners will tell you, yeah, that is good baseball, but over the course of a long summer when your legs are taking a beating,
yeah,
sometimes you need to just back off a little bit.
Obviously, the Phillies have to push hard here in September. Running out of games. Rollins goes, and it's hit foul. It's so much fun if you've been a baseball fan and have appreciated the running game to watch a confrontation like this as it evolves, different things happening on consecutive pitches. One pitch he's going, another pitch he's faking, another pitch he's just staying still, and the pitcher throws over, the catcher's throwing behind him. A lot of things happening here. Lyles just looks over at him. He is very aware of Rollins on this 3-2 count. He's going, and it's hit on one bounce, foul. Lazo, the coach, tossing it up to a fan.
J-Roll is getting his sprint work in today.
He has been just an outstanding base stealer throughout his career. More than 400 stolen bases and a career percentage of 83 for Rollins.
Middle infielders try to hold their ground as long as possible here.
One hopper. Moore takes a look, has no play at second, gets Pierre at first. One out, runner at second. AT&T has some trivia for us today, and it is. Jeff Bagwell's the Astros all-time leader with 449 homers, named the next 4 all-time Astros home run career leaders. Well, you might think of people like Jimmy Wynn and Lance Berkman.
100 down home run alley out there, and you'll see him hanging from the rafters.
Certainly will. Chase Utley's the batter. He hit a sac fly on an 0-2 count in the first inning. Astros infield playing him to pull. And there's ball 1 to him. Utley's been taking some grounders at third recently, apparently with an eye toward perhaps moving him to that position next year. Not sure who they have to play second base for next year, what their thinking is on that.
Well, you know, they may feel like they're not getting a whole lot of power from the third base position. They haven't for a while now. Polanco's been a good high average hitter over there. Utley's had a lot of leg problems, so you take him out of harm's way to a certain degree by putting him at third base, where he's not trying to turn double plays, and the lateral movement isn't as important. You know, and then I think it's, you know, you find a second baseman that can really pick it, even if he doesn't bring a whole lot offensively. That makes sense.
Now, after the intentional walk, runners at first and second, 1 out for Howard. The infielders, at least the shortstop Tyler Green, coming in.
Interesting intentional walk this early in the ball game.
Fell behind him 2-0. Now Doug Brocail is out. Howard struck out in the first inning. Howard had a tough night last night as well. He was 0 for 4. Phillies left a bunch of men on base last night. 12. They were shut out 5-0. They were 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position in that game last night. Next to last road trip for the Phillies this season. They have 16 games left, 10 of them on the road. Howard looks at it. It's ball 1 to Ryan. St. Louis native. He takes that one to ball 2.
This is one, if you're the manager and the pitching coach, you watch this pitch with one eye closed. 2 balls, no strikes. Ryan Howard up there with a couple of men on base.
3-0 to Howard. Ruiz on deck. Shot, and Tyler Green is there, stepping on second. Whoa, throwing to first. He still got him. Oddly going in hard, and he had to stutter step over him to make it work out for a 6-3 double play. There's a double play to end it. His foot slipped on the base for one thing, and he got it done from 6-3. 1-0 Phillies. Leader for the Astros. Name the next 4. Lance Berkman 326, Craig Biggio 291, Jimmy Wynn 223, Glenn Davis 166. There's Home Run Alley where they're all displayed.
I think further down that line, CC maybe next. Cedeno, maybe Bob Watson.
Bob Watson's in there, yep. Big Legends Weekend is coming up next weekend. A lot of your all-time favorites will be here, including that luncheon next Saturday at Union Station, 11 o'clock. Jose Altuve lined to left field. It was caught at the wall by Juan Pierre. Strike 1 to Altuve. Altuve now is second in batting average among National League second basemen to Aaron Hill by 4 points, and second in hits to Aaron Hill by 5 hits. It's 1-1. Last winning homestand for the Astros was a 6-2 homestand in mid-May, May 16th through 23rd against Milwaukee, Texas, and Chicago. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Dodgers will be calling on rookie right-hander Stephen Fife in place of Clayton Kershaw today against the Cardinals and Adam Wainwright.
Kind of ironic they traded for all that firepower, and they probably could have used one more arm now with Kershaw going down. Of course, they did add Beckett as part of that deal with the Sox.
Yeah. Paredes is on deck. Altuve up the right field line. This was slicing away and into the seats.
Boy, what a critical blow that would be to the Dodgers. Not only between now and the end of the regular season, but just their postseason chances if Kershaw is not available.
Huge blow.
Take a picture of that baseball.
Giants currently lead the Dodgers by 7.5 in the NL West, so winning the division is almost out of the question. Foul back.
Congratulations, Giants. Really played well in September, holding off the Dodgers, and of course the Dodgers really played all that well the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and the Giants lost Melky Cabrera. Played extremely well since he went out with that suspension.
That's why a lot of people have Buster Posey at the top of their ballot for the MVP, the way he has performed, especially in the second half when they've needed him most.
Yeah, he had another big home run yesterday for them. Cincinnati leads 3-2 at Miami. They're in the bottom of the fifth inning with Matt Latos on the hill. The Reds are cruising in the NL Central. Halladay missing outside, goes to a full count now on Altuve. Reds have an 11-game lead over the Cardinals. You know, the bottom three teams in the NL Central have played better than the top three teams for the last 10 days. Fly ball right center field. Dominic Brown moving back for it. Brown right there in front of the bullpen fence.
It's shaping up to be a real hang with him day for Altuve. He's had two very good swings. Pierre went up against the wall and left to take away extra bases, and now Brown tracks this one down in front of the Astros bullpen. Just a great at bat, working the count full and then putting a real good swing on this fastball from Halladay, but nothing to show for it except for the admiration of all his fans and teammates. And, hey, good swing, man. Keep battling. Hang with him.
Admiration does not make its way into the hit column.
No,
though.
it doesn't show up in the box score.
Jimmy Paredes with strike one.
Little asterisk with a note down below. Two admirable at-bats by Altuve today. Can't take that to arbitration.
It's 1-1, 1 strike. Can't you see that arbitration hearing now?
I recorded 142 admirable ABs for outs, but
2 balls and a strike.
the agent will have a whole binder there and be documented. They'll have video evidence to support it.
Yeah, no other right fielder would have caught this ball except for the Phillies right fielder. Bouncer up the middle. Rollins spins, throws to first, safe. Paredes reaching on an infield hit despite the best efforts of Rollins. Good play behind second.
Play we've seen Rollins make many times, and he would have made this one too had it been a slower guy going down the line, but Paredes can really scoot, and he's got himself an infield hit. Nice play. So Altuve gets the hang with him. Paredes gets the infield knock. You had infield hit on your baseball bingo card. Be sure to mark it off.
Scott Moore's the batter. He looks at strike one. He singled to left center field his first time up.
I did. All I need now is plaid sports coat to get a bingo.
We know where to find one of those.
Greg wearing one today? We get a shot at G-Lou?
You used to have one.
I know. I gave it away.
Not today, guys.
Oh, rats.
Oh, man.
I'm the only one, though, that's actually dressed up. I've got the tie on, and I haven't appeared on camera once.
Well, we got to get you on. There are no ties in baseball.
51 pitches for Halladay, 34 of them strikes. Runner going. And Jimmy Paredes had a good jump, but the ball's fouled by Moore.
Now I'm afraid on camera. I've got to show the fact
That is
I'm
a
wearing
nice
a tie,
looking tie, too.
but I'm only wearing a plain old blue
Plain old
sport
blue,
coat.
that's
So that's not sorry. Didn't
Very
help you.
patriotic looking. Red, white, and blue colors.
Yeah, you know, dogs and Cub Scouts. That's
Yep.
kind of
Very All-American. Yeah.
Theme. 1-2 to Moore with Maxwell on deck. He rocks this one to left center field. Pierre back. Pierre looking up the wall. Scott Moore has hit a 2-run opposite field homer. And the Astros have the lead 2-1. Lined it into the Landry's Crawford boxes for number 8 of this season, giving him 23 runs batted in.
I mentioned Halladay won his last start, but allowed 5 runs to the Marlins, and it's been an up and down year for him now. Nowhere near as dominant as we've seen from Halladay in the past. Good swing here by Moore on this tailing fastball, trying to run it down and away. And from the Phillies' point of view, not down or away, far enough. Good swing by Moore.
Now Maxwell fouls it. There's strike one. You see any sleeping babies in the stands?
I
JD?
don't know. I don't have that one on my card. I do have Crawford box home run on my bingo card.
Well, if our director can find a sleeping baby, I win baseball bingo.
I think we got a race between the sleeping baby and the plaid sports coat. What if we have a guy in his plaid sports coat holding a sleeping baby?
Oh, that's double bingo there. Maxwell strikes out. That's out number 2.
If you don't know what we're talking about, our buddy Boots down here to the right has put together these baseball bingo cards for us. And he makes a regular legitimate bingo card. I don't know if we get a good shot at that. And with all different possible scenarios that could play out in the game. And if you got them, you mark them off. And we suggest that you make your own cards at home and play along. Baseball season's dwindling down. Yeah. But Boots is good because he puts, legitimate baseball plays in, like, bloop single, 1-3 put out. But he'll also mix in the sleeping baby or the plaid sports coat.
There's a fine one with the eyes closed. We're still looking. Oh, it's still early for that, though. That's a liner to left field. Caught by Pierre. Paredes beat out an infield hit, and then Moore found the left field seats for a 2-1 Astros lead here in the 3rd. Completed after 3. We go to the 4th inning. Jordan Lyles on the mound, and he's going to have to wait for Justin Maxwell to get positioned in center field. We're still looking for a sleeping baby, and we'll have one in about 5 minutes. Carlos Ruiz looks at strike one. He grounded out earlier. That's in, and it's no balls, 2 strikes with Mayberry and Brown to follow. Fastball fouled away. Rookie Kuroda is going for the Yankees against Matt Moore of Tampa Bay. It is 6-1 New York. Bottom of the fifth inning. Russell Martin hit his 17th. And Benjamin Zobrist number 17 for the Rays. It's 1-2. Moore out of the game after giving up 5 earned runs in 3 innings for Tampa Bay. Struck him out. Number 3. Got him lunging at one. Mayberry struck out looking back in the second inning. Let's see, do we have painted face on the bingo game?
I do not have that on mine.
No. Kid eating cotton candy would come into play for some of us. If we can find any of those. Bouncer shortstop, Tyler Green. Big strong throw. He gets Mayberry 2 down. Well, California League champions, the Lancaster Jethawks.
Hey, how about that?
They won the championship last night with a 3-2 win at home against the Modesto Nuts.
They produce a lot of almonds in the Modesto area.
Okay.
Hence the Nuts.
Well, the Nuts got swept in a 3-game series. There's ball 1 to Brown. Under a walk first time up.
Ball's down low, Dale.
That was the first title for the Lancaster Jethawks in their 17 years as a franchise. Delino DeShields led off the game with a homer. He was named the series MVP. He was the Astros' #1 pick in 2010. Foul back, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So they're celebrating. Colton Kane was the starter and winner. He went 5 innings, giving up 2 earned runs. Kenny Long got the final out to save it for the Jethawks.
Told you it wasn't a ball.
2-2. The Astros had 3 minor league affiliates who made the playoffs. Corpus Christi, Tri-City were the others. 1 championship coming from Lancaster. Two balls, 2 strikes for Lyles.
Yeah, good year down on the farm in terms of the 1-loss record overall, and a lot of teams competing into the postseason. But more importantly, just the addition of quality players, some depth now in the organization that wasn't there for a couple of seasons plus.
Bouncer over the mound. Tyler Green cuts across. Takes care of out number 3. It goes quickly for the Phillies in the 4th. The Astros lead it 2-1.
By the All-American Jack Combo at Jack in the Box. It's a no-nonsense burger with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. By the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway miles per gallon. And by Mattress Firm. Save money, sleep happy. It's got to be torture for some of these dogs if they aren't sharing, if their masters aren't sharing.
That dog wants a bacon burger.
Oh, don't tease. That's even worse.
Yeah, but the dog's going to eat the whole thing.
Oh, a tiny little piece of bread.
Bun, yeah.
Oh, man.
2-1 Astros. Carlos Corporan struck out his first time up. Halliday delivers. There's strike one.
Reminds me of those stories about Marge Schott when she had Shotzi with her. She had some function and she would tell the person, let Shotzi have a bite of your pizza. It's okay. She doesn't have germs.
No balls, 2 strikes. We went on several elevator rides with Shotzi back in those days. Shotzi got elevator priority. It's 1-2. Party kind of atmosphere down there.
Shotzi was Marge Schott's St. Bernard, by the way.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
in case somebody thinks I'm talking about maybe her child or something.
That's strike 3, and that's the 4th strikeout for Halliday.
Dale Scott at times I think it has been a little tight on the ball over the plate and down, but he has shown a little generosity off that outside edge.
J.D. Martinez rocked a triple up on Tal's Hill. Shoots that one foul for strike 1. We don't know whether Tal's Hill will be there or not next year. The fans are going to have some input into that. But on the occasional play like his, it has been interesting down through the years. See balls roll up on that hill. See center fielders just, if you took a poll of center fielders, it wouldn't be there.
You know, it's gotten more criticism than it deserves in that light because there's very few plays out there. When you think back to some of the highlights we've seen out there, that catch Lance made.
Yeah. Some really great catches there. Martinez strikes out. That's 5 for Halliday. Tyler Green will follow. He walked in the 2nd inning.
And I will say this, if the hill goes away, I hope the dimensions stay big. I'd hate to see him bring that fence in because this is a pretty hitter friendly park, at least in the home run department, to left and right. So I think that the big center field is needed.
So you just level the hill.
Well, I wouldn't level the hill. But I'm saying if they did, I would want to keep the dimension.
Yeah.
I wouldn't bring the fence in.
Utley catches the pop up from Green, and after 4, it's 2-1 Houston.
tomorrow, and then they will be good to go for a 3-game series starting in St. Louis on Tuesday. And Fernando Abad will be on the mound making his 5th Major League start, beginning of that 3-game series at Busch. Abad made 4 starts so far. He's yet to get out of that 4th inning. Again, off day tomorrow, first of 3 at Busch. Kyle Loesch against Fernando Abad Tuesday at 6:30. Our coverage begins. This has been your Mazda Game Break. Guys, I wanted to weigh in on the hill.
Okay.
It doesn't come into play very often, and when has it ever come into play when it wasn't interesting?
Right.
Think about it. You know, it's not like it's something that happens every game, or even, you know, it happens maybe once, twice a month. Maybe you'll see an interesting play up there, but it's always fun.
That's about it. Yeah. I have to agree with you, Kevin.
So why not throw a little twist in there? Why not keep that twist in there?
Well, it certainly stamps this ballpark differently compared to the others.
So if anybody asks me, I'm in favor. I'm pro Hill.
I'll put you down.
Okay, put me down
check
for
mark
pro
for
Hill.
Pro Hill.
That's 3 of us. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Martinez singled to left field in the 2nd inning. As Kevin told us, it is Abad and Loesch Tuesday night, 6:30 for Astros Live. It's Lucas Harrell versus TBA Wednesday night. Corporon scrambles for it, throws him out to complete the strikeout. And it's Halladay coming up, and then Bud Norris versus TBA Thursday afternoon. And supposedly Chris Carpenter is going to start one of those games. That's what we're hearing anyway.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why those are listed as TBAs, because they're not exactly sure how it's going to shake out. There's that good swing and a miss curveball from Lyles. That was a nasty one. Got Ruiz swinging out a strikeout or a breaking ball off the plate. This one on the plate but down.
And Corporon did a nice job of blocking it. Halladay struck out his first time up. Now he's down in the count 0-2. He's up against it, with Lyles having the 2-1 lead today.
5th inning has been a bugaboo for Jordan Lyles this year. But if ever you're going to have an easy one, it's when 8, 9, 1 are scheduled to bat.
Well, enjoy it while you can, Houston pitchers, because it won't be there next year. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 9th spot will be there, but it won't be occupied by the pitcher. Except in a few National League parks, right? Haven't even looked at how many of those there are for the Astros next year. Still 2-2. We're asking Tony D about the composition of American League rosters today from his time with the Oakland A's. Swing and a miss, and Halladay's down. By strikeout victim number 5. That should be 6, but we'll check it. Jimmy Rollins is coming up next. Rollins has a double and a walk today. Toronto leads Boston 3-0. It was 0-0 until a few minutes ago in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Blue Jays have scored 3, and they're still batting against John Lester. That's ripped to right field. Paredes over to hold him to a single. Very good play by Jimmy, and his speed allows him to get over to balls. And also the depth at which he was playing allowed him to prevent Rollins from getting a double on that one.
Yeah, this one off the bat, you're assuming double hit that hard towards the right field corner, but he was playing him to pull. He was playing deep, and he's fast. So all those things combined allow Paredes to get over there, cut that ball off. He had a little more time than he realized. He could have set his feet before making that throw, but that's part of the transition to the outfield, just getting used to when he has to really hurry, when he could take a little extra time.
Were you watching? You watched that 60 Minutes interview, right? On last Sunday when we were traveling
with the seal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that phrase? Don't rush to your death.
Don't run to your death.
Don't run to your death. Okay. Throw to first base.
One of the slogans that the Seals live by.
Well, Dan Radisson was quoting that. He said we've been using that with our players and talking about rushing too much on the baseball field.
Yeah, well, you know. And that's the thing when you got young players. Sometimes they're not comfortable, so they're in a hurry to do things.
Rollins sets sail. Corcoran's throw in the dirt, skips on through into center field by Tyler Green, and that puts Rollins at third base on a steal and a throwing error by Corcoran, his second error. Well, Rollins picks up another steal, his 30th.
No contact out there by second base. Tyler Green slow to get up. Rollins may have been shaken up a little bit as well. As you look at the break, Corcoran comes flying out of there on a high fastball, so as good as a pitch out really in some respects. But Rollins still able to beat it as the throw drifts inside, and then the blow. Boy, Rollins really lucky as he catches a forearm in the head from Tyler Green.
Rollins' fourth stolen base of this series, and he's at third now. Pierre looks at that one for a ball. 2 balls and a strike.
Green bracing for the contact, pulls that arm in, and it hits Rollins right in the head.
Sure did. And tight to Pierre.
If ever a time where you want to be aggressive with a fastball, it's right here. 3 balls, 1 strike. Utley and Howard to follow Pierre.
Three and 2. Red Sox skipper Bobby Valentine attempted to clarify his criticism of the Red Sox September roster a few days ago as the worst ever. There's a line shot left center field. It could shoot the gap. It is down, and it goes all the way to the wall. That ties the game 2-2. It's an RBI double for Pierre. That's his 24th run batted in, double number 10 for Juan Pierre.
I guess I spoke too early when I said that Jordan was set up for an easy 5th. 2 quick outs, but single stolen base, error, double. Phillies tie the game. Juan Pierre, even though the Astros play him away, they had Maxwell shifted way over towards the alley in left center. Martinez was shallow and towards the line, but Pierre still manages to split that gap.
He hit it squarely enough. There wasn't a whole lot of time, but there was not very much room there, and he had to hit a bullet to get it between those two. Chase Utley will get a free pass here to bring up Howard. Utley with a sac fly and 1 intentional walk. Will get a second intentional walk here.
Oh, they are tugging on Superman's cape here, boy. They're basically telling Ryan Howard, we fear Chase Utley. We do not fear you at all, big fella.
Well, today he is struck out and bounced into a double play. Goes 0 for his last 6, but Friday night he had 2 hits and drove in 3 runs.
Here's our AT&T U-verse. We'll bring you back to this reverse replay, and it's the pitch by pitch to Howard. Fastball away, change up high and away. Tried to paint the corner, and then went with a fastball on 3-0. He hit it hard, but Green was positioned right there at second base, and he was able to turn that double play.
Now runners at first and second, 2 outs for Howard.
Paid off last time as they got the double play. Let's see if they can get the big fella here. Howard coming off a homestand in which he did not hit well at all either. So they may just have identified these 2 guys in the middle of the order, the one they feel more comfortable going after.
He rocks this one toward the left field corner, and that will bounce and stay in play. It'll send Juan Pierre home, and now Utley behind him as the ball gets loose on the warning track. Scores. Here's Howard to third, and he is out, but he's knocked in 2.
That was just anger there. He was upset that the Astros dissed him by walking in front of him twice, and he was just going to keep running until they got him out. He had no business trying to go to third there.
Shoots it hard into the left field corner to give the Phillies the lead 4-2. 3 in the 5th inning. 2 on that opposite field double by Ryan Howard, who was then thrown out at third base on a 7-6-5 play. And now the Astros try to come right at Roy Halladay. And they're going to pinch hit for Jordan Lyles with Brandon Barnes. It'll be Barnes, Altuve, and Paredes due up for Houston in the home 5th inning. Well, Lyles comes out after 5 innings of work, allowing 5 hits, 4 runs. He had 4 walks. 2 of those were intentional. And he struck out 6. And Barnes with a 206 average has 1 homer. He's driven in 6. He's had 68 at bats.
So ultimately the pitching line for Jordan Lyles does not look very good today, but a couple of things working against him. One, the fact that he was only able to pitch 5 innings with all the extra guys in the bullpen, and Tony D just doing whatever he can to win. He's going to pinch hit for him here. And then again, that 5th inning rearing its ugly head on him after 2 quick outs.
In the air to the center fielder, Mayberry, or Pierre rather, over in left center, has it. And we go to Patty.
Well, you voted for it, and now it's here. Come on out to Minute Maid Park Wednesday, September 26th, as 10,000 fans will take home a J.R. Richard back-to-back 300 strikeout seasons bobblehead, courtesy of Comcast. Root now and buy tickets at Astros.com or by calling 1-877-9-ASTROS. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. 1 out, and it's Jose Altuve, who's been unable to find a hole. He lined out to left field. Juan Pierre crashing into the wall to rob him in the 1st inning. Hit a deep drive to right center in the 3rd that was caught at the warning track by Dominic Brown. And takes strike 1 here. It's no balls, 2 strikes to Altuve with Paredes on deck. Tampa Bay got 3 in the 6th to close the gap a little bit, but the Yankees lead at 6-4 after 6. Andy Pettitte set to return Tuesday to the Yankees rotation. 1-2.
Seems like Altuve got a blue pit coming his way here.
Oh, he definitely has a blue pit coming.
Oh, Linfield roller or something.
Struck him out.
Not coming yet.
Number 6 for Halladay. And Paredes will follow. Jimmy's hit the ball on the ground both times to the 3rd baseman in the 1st inning, and an infield hit behind second in the 3rd inning. He then rode home on the 2-run homer by Scott Moore. Ball 1 from Halladay, who has a terrific road record in his career, 89-54 with a 3.46 ERA. 3rd lowest career road ERA among all active pitchers.
And I think what makes his overall numbers even more impressive is all the work he did with Toronto, playing in the American League East against those teams in New York and Boston, Tampa Bay, but New York and Boston in particular, those lineups, having to face them as much as he did within the division and still put up the numbers that he did. It's really impressive.
3-0 to Paredes. Halladay came up at age 21.
It's a great story. Found early success and then struggled mightily, went all the way back down to A ball.
Found a little different arm slot, didn't he?
Changed his arm slot, and then Mel Queen got with him. He was I don't know if he was the A-ball pitching coach or a roving instructor with the Blue Jays, but Mel Queen's the guy that straightened him out.
Paredes takes a walk. That's number 2 for Halladay.
Keeps that front shoulder tucked. The thing I like about him is the tempo. He works quickly, throws a lot of strikes. He's got his game face on right now. He's kind of fighting it a little bit today. He's been out of sorts.
Moore hit a line drive single to left center and then a 2-run homer to left field. Strike one to him. Brett Wallace getting a day off today, and Scott is cashing in with some playing time at first. He has not had very many starts the last couple of weeks. He had a groin problem that limited him for a while. He's pinch hit a few times. In tight for a ball. That makes it 1-1. Well, JD, you mentioned that stat for Halladay. He's thrown 82 pitches, 23 of those in the third. And he has a lead of 4 more runs. He's 1-11-0. Pedro Martinez retired with a 1-14-0 record when he was staked to a 4-run lead. It leads by a couple.
Well, rarely will a starting pitcher lose a game with a 4-run lead, because a lot of times you'll be pulled before you become the pitcher of record. But still, when the numbers are that big, that's really impressive.
Sure is. Well, the Astros overcame a 4-run lead to win a game on this homestand.
It's tough to come back against twice. The Phillies had the 1-0 lead. The Astros jumped out in front with 2 in the bottom of the third. Now that he's got another lead, rarely does he give those up.
Tyler Cloyd had a 4-0 advantage when the Astros came up in the 4th inning Thursday night, and they turned that around, and Houston won it 6-4. Paredes draws the throw. The Angels lead at Kansas City. It's 4-3 in the bottom of the 5th inning with Dan Herron on the mound. Mark Trumbo hit his 31st homer. Milwaukee leads the Mets 2-0 in the 6th. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Brewers are not to be ignored at this point. They're still alive. Ryan Braun hit his 39th homer. Ramos Ramirez added number 24. Hector Ambrose is throwing for Houston.
The Brewers came into play today 2.5 games behind the Cardinals and the Dodgers for the second wild card spot.
Hit back to Halladay, and he takes care of Moore's grounder with Paredes running on the pitch through 5. 4-2 Phillies.
Phillies lead 4-2, and as part of the Houston Astros 50th anniversary celebration presented by the Methodist Hospital System, we'd like to invite you to the Legends Luncheon on Saturday, September 22nd, 2012. Enjoy lunch and a 50th anniversary program with your favorite Astros alumni, including members of the all-time 25-man roster. Be sure to get your tickets now at astros.com. Among those scheduled to attend, of course, Craig Biggio will be there, Billy Wagner will be there, Craig Reynolds, Larry Dierker, Shane Reynolds, and you can see the rest. Should be a good time to be had by all, guys.
We'll be placing our orders with Billy Wagner for alpaca sweaters when he comes in. Is he raising alpacas or is he raising emus?
I'm going to go with alpacas.
Okay.
He's raising Wookiees.
Yeah. Perfect time for the camel sound effect as Hector Ambrose.
That's no camel. That's a Wookiee. That's Chewbacca.
Hector Ambrose is 1-0 with a 5.06 ERA. Facing Chuch Ruiz. And it's ball one. Ruiz is 0 for 2.
That was a big out made at third base by Ryan Howard in the last inning with Ruiz coming up next. Phillies might have been able to tack on another run the way Ruiz has swung the bat this year. Howard, I think he was taking some serious umbrage at Tony D walking Utley not once but twice in front of him. And after hitting that double off the wall, he was just going to keep on churning.
Ground ball goes wide of third. 2 balls and a strike.
It's interesting to see Howard after the play as he was taking his helmet and heading back to get his cap and glove. He's kind of looking in the direction of the Astros dugout as if to say, might want to think twice the next time you walk a guy in front of me.
Ambrose gets a swing and a miss to take the count to 2-2 on Ruiz. Bobby Valentine said to reporters Friday, this is the weakest roster we've ever had in September in the history of baseball. We could use help everywhere.
Those are hard statements to tweak, you know, to say you were taken out of context. I mean, what did he say? How did he try to fix that?
Then today he said, the other day when I made a comment about our September roster, that wasn't meant to be a criticism of any players or anything in the organization. It's a statement of fact because of the injuries in our AAA team in the playoffs. This is different. We have less people than most September rosters. We have less positions filled than any September roster I've ever seen before. Anybody who thought that to be anything other than a statement of what it was, stand corrected on that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. And Mayberry's 0 for 2.
And it very well could be a case where they took a certain part of his commentary and presented it that way. And Jimmy Williams came here to manage, having left Boston. He was a little gun shy, as you know. He was not real comfortable talking to the media. And I think that Boston market is, aside from a good place to get chicken, can be a really difficult place to manage.
1 ball, 1 strike. I guess sometimes guys feel like they've been in a lobster pot when they get out of Boston. Valentine said usually a September roster has some starting pitchers who are waiting in the wings. Ours doesn't. He said usually a September roster has some left-handed pinch hitter type guys or pinch runners, 5 or 6 outfielders. We have 4 outfielders. It's not like a September roster. 2-1 to Mayberry. Quite a year in Boston. It'll be interesting to see what happens with that manager's spot here when the offseason arrives. One reason the Astros have given for interviewing managers now, or potential managers for the team next year, is that other teams might be shopping and they want to make sure they get their best candidate rather than having to compete with other teams on the open market at the same time. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pirates are pulling James McDonald out of their starting rotation. He's been slumping, and Kyle McPherson will take his spot Wednesday against the Brewers. Clint Hurdle talked about James's inconsistency. Mayberry strikes out. It's 2 in a row for Ambrose. Ambrose worked a scoreless inning in last night's game.
Well placed 2-seam fastball. Outside edge and down.
Dominic Brown has walked and grounded out. So McDonald will be in the bullpen starting Tuesday for the Buccos. Bouncer goes foul. It's getting to be that time of year when pitchers sometimes change roles. It's all about winning tonight, and everything shrinks down, and sometimes guys get their feelings hurt when they're pulled out of rotations and things of that nature. But McDonald has a second half ERA of 5.84 in the last 12 starts.
Yeah, it's and the thing you have to be careful of if you're the manager or pulling the plug on a guy is, do you have an alternative that you're pretty comfortable is going to be better? Because even though McDonald has slumped in the second half, he was really good in the first half. He had certainly good enough stuff. He's been one of those mystery guys because he was so good, and it looked like he was an emerging guy in this league. And he's really gone south in the second half.
Crack bad roller to third. Dominguez with a play to get Brown. It's a 1-2-3-6 for Ambriz. It's 4-2 Phillies.
In the bottom of the sixth, it's about the score, but not on Chevy Hometown Kids. It's about the experience. You can see the show every Saturday at 10 a.m. here on Fox Sports Houston. They also have some encore presentations. Emily Reppert is your host. HometownKids.tv is a place for more information, too. Rowdy?
Thanks, Greg. There's Justin Maxwell taking, and it's ball one from Roy Halladay. 4-2 Phillies, bottom of the sixth inning. Maxwell has struck out both times against Halladay. Halladay's thrown 86 pitches. That one's in for a strike to even the count at 1-1.
Hey, Brownie, I think we just had a shot of a sleeping baby.
Oh, it's too late.
Too late. Boots has already scored a baseball bingo.
I knew we'd get that sleeping baby, though. It's a lock on a Sunday afternoon. 2 balls and a strike.
Yep, there it is. That could have been a winner for you, but Phil already had his bingo. Throwing error put him over the top, I think.
One of the few times you've ever heard somebody root for a throwing error. 3-1. And in for strike two, a full count with Dominguez and Corcoran to follow in the Houston sixth inning.
Next time you should make up a card that has sleeping broadcaster on there.
The roller goes out to Halladay. And that's out number one. Hey, an Astros Live. That was fun watching you and Andy before the game. That was a great interview. Very funny. And, Larry Anderson, now a well-established broadcaster with the Phillies.
Yeah, we had some fun. LA and I, we teammates here. 86 until his trade to Boston for Baggy in 1990. Then we reunited in San Diego.
And he's not talking over there on Phillies radio. There's strike one to Dominguez. Matt 0 for 2 with a ground out on a fly ball to left. It's 0-2. Pitch floated up there at 82. Tony D talking about Matt Dominguez in the Houston Chronicle today. Said sometimes he doesn't stay back on the off-speed stuff. It's usually a real challenge for a young hitter, as Matt is, to come to the big leagues and see the variety of stuff that he has not faced from some of the top line pitchers. Just the command that they have of the off-speed stuff. He's back watching this one drift out of play.
Yeah, and really, to me, it's a percentage play. Down in the minor leagues, you see plenty of good pitching, and guys with good stuff, and guys with good off-speed stuff. But just you see a higher percentage of it here, and you get into a stretch. Just contemplate a series against the Phillies of, if you had to deal with Halladay, Hamels, and Cliff Lee in a 3-game series. So it's 3 consecutive nights of top-line pitching. You kind of go into that series knowing it's going to be awfully tough. So if you can scratch out a couple of hits, contribute in whatever way you can, you should be able to feel good about it. But the mental part of that, knowing that you're going to really go through some tough streaks against these frontline pitchers, a lot of times that's the difference between a guy surviving at this level and not. Just the ability to deal with the fact that you're going to get beat a lot.
2-2. Cliff Lee goes tomorrow night at New York against R.A. Dickey. That should be a dandy. Out to shortstop. Rollins to first base. 2 outs. And Corporon will follow. Phillies have a .621 winning percentage in the second half. Only Cincinnati and Washington have better winning percentages in the National League. But will it be enough? The numbers are pretty daunting right now. If you were to say a team has to have 88 wins to make it into the playoffs, the Phillies have 73 right now. That's high, and Corcoran has hit it a long way to right field and has hit a home run to right field to make it 4-3. Number 4 for Carlos, and the Astros hit their second long ball of the day against Halladay to pull to within 1.
Found that magic. There's no doubter. Throw him a little backdoor breaking ball, and Corcoran smothers it. Watch, he's going to carry that bat with him a little bit. And then a little flip, a little toss away.
Well, J.D. Martinez looks at ball 1. Corcoran makes it a 1-run lead. 4 home runs, 10 runs batted in for Carlos. Not had a lot of at-bats. That's a strike, making it 1-1. Hangs off that railing, facing for the upper deck. He's had only 66 at-bats. He has a .444 slugging percentage coming into this game. All 3 catchers are productive here in September for Tony D. Meanwhile, the Phillies have both barrels loaded out in the bullpen. The left-hander and a right-hander going, and the count goes to 2-2. Halladay's at 103 pitches. Now back, and Tyler Green's on deck. With the 3 runs surrendered by Halladay, thrown 104. There you see the breakdown. That equals the Astros' best output in a game against Halladay. Scored 3 off him in August of 2010. Line drive, left field corner. And that one will roll to the base of the wall. Another extra base hit for J.D. Martinez. He adds a double to his second inning triple. That's his 14th two-base hit.
Pope Ryan hit a breaking ball. J.D. Martinez gets a breaking ball. Puts a good swing on it. For his second extra base hit of the afternoon. Richard Doobie, the pitching coach, out to confer with his veteran right-hander.
6 hits for the Astros, 4 for extra bases, 2 homers, a triple, and a double. Wesley Wright's warming up for Houston while they confer at the mound. J.D. coming over to talk with Dave Clark. 2 outs in the inning. Tyler Green, the batter. Green walked in the second, popped up in the fourth. Wesley Wright getting ready. The pitcher's spot is due up next. Well, the Astros beat Halladay in Philadelphia in that game in August of 2010, 3-2. He gave up homers to Hunter Pence and Michael Bourne in that one. Now they trail him by 1. And it's strike 1 to Green. Ambrose comes out to the on-deck circle.
Just because.
Yeah, just because somebody has to be out there. 0-2, but you know that some possible pinch hitters are furiously getting ready out of sight. There's one of them, Matt Downs. Matt started last night. The night before and hit a home run. 2-run homer Friday night.
Yeah, I would think Matt's plan B down there. If Phillies make a pitching change to bring in a lefty, say to counter a lefty pinch hitter, then maybe Downs would get the call. Maybe Tony D would be willing to burn one of his left-handed bats. Get Downs in the bat against a left-handed pitcher.
Taken by Green for ball 2, and it's 2-2.
Ryan Bogusevic down there as well. Jason Castro.
Yep.
Everybody's down there.
There are some choices
at the ready.
Jordan Schaefer, Red Wallace, the other left-handed hitters. Now ball 3, and it's a full count to Tyler Green. White Sox lead 6-2 at Minnesota. They're in the top of the 7th inning. Adam Dunn hit his 39th. Diane Viciedo, number 21. Bill Maurer, number 10 for the Twins. Ryan Braun has hit his 2nd of the day and 40th of the year for Milwaukee. 3-0 Milwaukee over the Mets. Bottom of the 7th inning at Miller Park. Green takes it at strike 3 to end the Astros 6th inning. 1 run scoring on 2 hits with a man left. Green agonizing over that call by Dale Scott. Corcoran hit the homer to right, and that makes it 4-3 Phillies after 6.
brought to you by Hyundai. If it's stylish, intelligent, safe, and affordable, it's probably a Hyundai. And by AT&T. Rethink possible. The Astro management is probably rethinking possible almost every day because they're trying to figure out who might be on this club next year. And every single player has had a moment or two. It's the guys that are going to have the most moments that are going to hopefully be part of next year's team.
We go to the 7th inning, 17,438 in attendance. Phillies lead at 4-3. Michael Martinez the batter. Pete Orr on deck. Martinez shortening up, takes a Hector Ambrose pitch for strike one. Ambrose getting his second inning of work because the pitcher spot did not come up. Tyler Green was caught looking to end the 6th inning. In the air to left field, J.D. Martinez backing way back to left, turning, and he didn't catch it. Kicks back, and it's fielded by Maxwell. He was caught playing shallow, and Martinez hit it over his head, backed him up. Got turned around, and Martinez winds up at second base.
Yeah, JD just started drifting on this ball. Maybe was surprised a little bit by how well Martinez hit it. See him turning this way, then that, and ultimately not able to put that ball away. A more aggressive path back to the wall really would have served him well there.
Now Pete Orr is the pinch hitter, and Tony DeFrancesco comes out. Philadelphia and Houston 4-3 Phillies. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Leadoff double by Martinez, and we'll get some changes here for Tony DeFrancesco. He's bringing Brian Bogusevic off the bench, going out to play the outfield. Wesley Wright is coming in. Pete Orr, the left-handed hitter, has been announced as the hitter for Halladay. We'll be right back. Now Brian Bogusevic has entered the game in center field. He's batting in the number 9 position in the lineup. Justin Maxwell has moved from center field to left field. J.D. Martinez coming out of the game after going 2 for 3. Wesley Wright in the number 7 spot, and he is 1-2 with a 3.26 ERA.
Pete Orr had been scheduled to pinch hit, but with the lefty coming in, Charlie Manuel, who's going to make a counter move and set up the big slugger Darren Ruff. Kid who hit 38 home runs down in the minor leagues for the Phillies this year.
Ruff was called up from Double-A Reading on September 10th. He was primarily a first baseman who also played some games in left field.
You really don't want to have to pitch to Ruff on Dog Day here at the ballpark.
No.
This could be problematic.
Ruff won the Paul Owens Award as the best players in the Phillies minor league system. 6'3", 220, 26 from Omaha, Nebraska.
Does not get cheated. It's a big swing, very strong kid.
He is 0 for 1 as a major leaguer. With Reading, he hit .317, 38 homers, 104 runs batted in. He walked 65 times, scored 93 runs, an OPS of well over 1,000 for Darren Ruff. It's 1-1. Roy Halladay worked 111 pitches in his 6 innings, allowing the Astros 6 hits, 3 runs, walking 2, fanning 7. He's in line for win number 11 of the year. Breaking pitch gets Ruff out in front. 1-2. 4-3 ball game. The Phillies lead it. Ruff was named the MVP and Rookie of the Year of the Eastern League. It's Philadelphia and Houston. The Phillies have taken the lead. They fell behind the Astros 2-1. They got 3 runs in the 5th inning. And now they have a man at second. Leading off the 7th inning, it was Martinez on a double. Pitch in the dirt from Wesley Wright. And they want a swing call, but don't get one on appeal to Bill Miller. The count's 2-2. Halladay and Lyles were the starters today. Halladay leaving with his 4-3 lead after 6 innings of work. Lyles went 5, giving up 4 runs. Game 4 of a 4-game series. Final game of the homestand. The Astros have won 2 of the first 3. They're 3-3 on this homestand. That's pulled foul, and it's still 2-2 to Ruff.
Yeah, Ruff, he's got a pretty quick bat, and it looks to me like he drifts a little bit to try to cover the outside corner. So you got to make sure you do your work inside on him. If you're going to go away, you better make sure you get it down and maybe even off the plate, because it looks like, you know, outer third is still something he's going to be able to square up pretty well as he closes up that front side. It looks like he gets pretty good coverage away. Maybe vulnerable in.
3-2 now to Ruff. He was the Eastern League Player of the Month in August. In August, he hit 20 homers in 31 games. Wound up leading all minor league players in long balls with 38. Started the swing and he stopped it. 3-2 to Ruff. Rollins is on deck. Ground ball third, one hopper. Dominguez checks the runner, throws across. 1 out. And Jimmy Rollins will come up. He is 2 for 2 with a walk. 2 runs scored for Jimmy. Also stole his 30th base. And this time batting right-handed, where Jimmy's hitting .229. Has a much lower slugging percentage right-handed than left-handed this season. Corporon and Wright talk it over.
As you mentioned, very important to have as many left-handed arms as possible available when you face the Phillies. You got the power guys and Utley and Howard from the left side, but important to turn Rollins around. He went out there with the wrong helmet. Forgot he was batting right-handed.
Some switch hitters just have the double helmet. They're all set either way. Flaps on both ears. 20 home runs this season for Rollins. 30 stolen bases as of this game. He fouls it back. Strike 1. Ty Wigginton is on deck. Detroit 3, Cleveland nothing. They're in the bottom of the 3rd at Cleveland with Rick Porcello on the mound for the Tigers. They have the makeup game tomorrow with the White Sox, and that will be a big one. Only 1 game separating the 2 right now.
Ooh, good pitch.
0-2.
Happy birthday wishes going out today to Bob Hodge, a new Astro fan and longtime fan. Tom Hudy's Belated happy birthday to Tom.
Is Bob Hodge related to Ed Hodge?
No, but he's friends with Matt Hughes.
Okay.
So. He's a friend of Matt's. He's a friend of ours.
Yep. Matt watches just about every game, right?
He watches a lot. He does.
Pirates lead 6-1 at Chicago. They're in the top of the 5th inning. Rod Barajas and Pedro Alvarez have gone deep. Alvarez has 28 now. Rollins started and he went on appeal to Bill Miller and struck out. 2 outs as Wright has done a job so far, and now it'll be Ty Wigginton pitch hitting for Juan Pierre. Wigginton, a former Astro, comes up at 234, 11 homers, 43 runs batted in. He's had 299 at bats. Ty has gone 5 for 27 with 3 runs batted in as a pinch hitter. He started last night in left field and had a double in 3 trips. Tony DeFrancesco may want to counter with a right-hander here. Utley is on deck, then Howard, both batting left. First base open. Right-hander warming up in the pen. We'll see what Tony wants to do. He talks it over with Wesley Wright here. And just a strategy session apparently. Delayed start in Arlington, Texas because of rain with Seattle and the Rangers. May get rain later on today. That's in the forecast for Houston as well. Wigginton steps up with the Phillies up by 1, 4-3. Each club with 6 hits. Mickey Story's warming up in the Astros bullpen. He's made 74 starts this year, 46 of them coming at first base when Howard was out. He's played some third and some left field. Quality pitch to him for strike 1.
Breakdown, excuse me, versus left and right. They're doing a whole lot in terms of batting average against left-handers so far this year.
This one hits him. Now runners at first and second for Utley. Wigginton reaching. And Utley, who has a sac fly and 2 intentional walks, will be coming up. That's the 5th hit batsman for Wesley Wright this season. Utley, the UCLA man, coming around for the 4th time in this game. He was on 3 times last night without getting a hit, 2 walks and hit by a pitch. Same type pattern for him in this game. Strike 1. Corporon. It looked like the runner at second, Martinez, caught his eye, and he was taking a step to his left as if he might be making a throw to third, and then he had to reach back to catch the pitch.
And even with all that, Dale Scott called it a strike.
Sometimes the umpire doesn't give a battery that call. Out to right field. Paredes reaching, and Paredes catching it on the warning track. Jimmy Paredes went back and he snagged it off the bat of Chase Utley to end the top of the 7th. No runs a hit, 2-man left. Fine play to keep it at a 1-run lead. And Joe Prince, who will be celebrating his 94th birthday on Wednesday, getting ready to sing. That is sweet music right there to the Houston club, JD.
Yeah, pretty play by Paredes. He ultimately wins the battle against this ball out there in right field.
Home Sweet Home program.
Very athletic play on the catch, and then he lost his balance but held on. And now, soon to be 94-year-old Joe Prince will lead us in the singing on the field.
And now to thank them for their service, as well as honoring all those who protect our freedom around the world each and every day. Please join World War II veteran, a young man who will be celebrating his 94th birthday this Wednesday, Joe Prince, in the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam, God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
It's 4-3, seventh inning stretch, featuring Joe Prince, and 94 years old on Wednesday. Terrific singer he's been down through the years here. Dominic Brown has moved to left field from right for the Phillies. Nate Shearholz is the right fielder. Antonio Bastardo is the pitcher, and Matt Downs will be the pinch hitter.
Yeah, the lefty Bastardo has done a pretty nice job for the Phillies this year. 2-4, 4.47 the ERA. Strikeout numbers most impressive. 71 of those in 46 and 1/3 innings of work. He's been awfully tough on left-handed hitters. They're hitting just 169 against him. Right-handed batters 240.
Matt Downs is the batter, and there's strike one as he pinch hits here in the home seventh inning. Downs, as a pinch hitter this season, is 4 for 34 with an RBI. 206 overall, 8 homers, 16 runs batted in. He hit the 2-run homer Friday night. That was off Cole Hamels. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. And he was in the starting lineup for that game. Now back to his accustomed pinch hitting role. The Astros down by 1, and Altuve and Paredes to follow. Fouls it back. 1-2. Bastardo, 26 years old, from the Dominican. Last year pitched 64 times for the Phillies. He's really become a mainstay in their bullpen. He's taken on a key role this year. Gets a foul ball there. Good strikeout numbers too.
Yeah, he sure does. He struck out to almost 36% of the batters he has faced this year. That's not Aroldis Chapman, but it's still well above average. The walk rate a little high as well. Likes to elevate his fastball.
Brings it inside. And it's 2-2 to Matt Downs. The Astros have had 53 pinch hits and 209 at bats, including 5 pinch homers this year. Foul back.
Bastardo 5'11". His arm angle, his delivery reminds you a little bit of Wandy Rodriguez. He doesn't have the good curveball that Wandy does. He'll throw a slider as his breaking ball, an occasional changeup. Does have the ability to cut that fastball in on the right-handed hitters like Wandy did. Well, Wandy probably still does. We just don't see it every 5th day.
No. That's foul. Well, a different lefty, not Wandy, but Jeff Locke is going for the Pirates today, and they lead 6-2 at Chicago in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Pirates very much still in it despite their recent slide.
They really are. These teams like the Pirates and Phillies have to be kicking themselves, but they are still in it, so they try to focus on the positive.
Because all the teams are kicking themselves.
Yeah, they all are.
They've all had a chance to run away, and nobody's been able to do it except for Atlanta.
Struck him out.
Dodgers, the Cardinals, Pirates all have had opportunities to create some distance in the wild card, that second wild card chase, and none of them are playing particularly well. The Pirates have been horrible, but they're still right there.
That's the 8th strikeout for Phillies pitching in this game. Jose Altuve's 0 for 3. In the first inning, he sent Juan Pierre crashing into the left field wall to catch his line drive. He hit a deep drive to the warning track in right center in the 3rd, and he struck out in the 5th. Washington and Atlanta play tonight in Atlanta. Gio Gonzalez against Mike Minor. Gonzalez shooting for his 20th win. Strike 1. Cardinals and Dodgers just underway. St. Louis has scored a run off Stephen Fife in the top of the 1st inning and is still batting. Alan Craig has doubled in a run, and now run number 2 just went up on the board for them. A wild pitch from Fife, scoring Matt Holliday. It's a battle for the 2nd wild card spot. They're tied for that one right now. Line drive foul. 0-2. St. Louis and Los Angeles both 76 and 70. Sharing that 2nd wild card spot. 7 behind Atlanta. Rays are looking very good to go to the playoffs. Not looking so good to win the NL East, where they trail Washington by 6.5, but they're not giving up on that yet either. Tight, and it's 1-2.
Washington and Atlanta both in the lower half in all of baseball in terms of player payroll. And it's interesting, a lot of those big dollar teams like this Philly team having tough years.
True.
Used to be there was a pretty good correlation. A number of years there was a pretty good correlation between payroll and postseason, and that That wasn't the case last year, and pretty good chance it won't be the case this year. Even the Yankees, you know, a chance they don't make it.
There is a chance. Currently, they have a 1-game lead on Baltimore, 4 on Tampa Bay, but they could go south.
Well, they could lose that, you know, second wild card spot too if they don't win the division. What Oakland's doing.
What a stop by Martinez, and he throws the ball away. Altuve reaching. Tremendous diving stop by Martinez, but then he skipped a low throw past Howard, and Altuve is safe at first. Terrific play as he darted to his right, leaving his feet.
That would have been the third time today that Altuve was robbed. An outstanding defensive play. A couple outfielders got him, one in left, one in right, and now Martinez makes his play down the line on him, and an accurate throw would have had him.
So he draws an error.
Gets a bonus for the glove work, and as he's fielding the ball, he's looking back at the umpire for a call to see whether he has to make a throw or not.
That's his 6th error, and it puts Altuve on for Paredes. Paredes has a single and a walk. Jimmy 1 for 2. Now turning around to hit right-handed, where he's 1 for 12 this season with the Astros.
Yankees with the top payroll in baseball, followed by the Phillies, the Angels, and the Red Sox. Red Sox are toast. Phillies have a remote chance. Angels have a remote chance.
Scott Moore's on deck. Sails high for ball 1. Philippe Aumont is warming up. The Yankees are scoring about 48% of their runs on homers this year. That's become something of a trend in the major leagues. Now the all or nothing theory. Singles are down, batting average is down, but the Yankees are finding that home runs are the key to their success quite often, and of course pitching. Good defensive play. Another throw goes over on Altuve, who is 30 for 37 in steals.
The Yankees 3rd in baseball in runs scored.
Yeah, they hit those 3-run homers that Earl Weaver likes so much.
And they've hit 217 home runs this year. To lead all of Major League Baseball. They walk a fair amount too, right? So we talk so much about OPS.
That's right.
Draw a lot of walks, you hit the ball out of the ballpark. Usually going to score a lot of runs.
2-0. Toronto shut out Boston in Toronto 5-0. It was scoreless until the 7th. Brandon Lyon, the winner, he's 3-2, and John Lester lost it. He's 9-12. Now the throw over. They're really checking out Altuve a lot. 2-0 count. The Phillies have allowed 88 stolen bases and 143 tries.
I did him a favor.
Sure did.
Started holding the ball a long time there to try to deaden the legs of Altuve over at first base to kind of limit his jump. But I think it's really hard to make a quality pitch when you do that. When you hold it that long, it takes you out of your rhythm. And he missed badly, but Paredes did him a favor by hacking at that high heater.
Sure did. He's going. Good jump. Ruiz's throw not nearly in time. Altuve selected a good pitch, and he got off and going in very fine shape for his 31st steal.
Bastardo not particularly quick to home plate. Altuve moving on first movement.
Phillies lead the majors in catchers caught stealings with 40, but Altuve is able to pilfer second, and it's 3-1 with 1 out. And ball 4 puts Paredes on as well, with more coming up next for a lefty on lefty matchup.
Moore's headed back to the dugout.
Scott Moore singled in the first, and just as we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite, to show you what he did in the 3rd inning.
The fastball running away from him, down a little bit. Just plunks it into the Crawford boxes.
Well, that was a big one, but now he's being lifted for a pinch hitter, Brandon Laird, and with that, Charlie Manuel is out to make a counter move and call on a right-hander from his bullpen with runners at first and second and 1 out here in the 7th inning with a 1-run lead. Charlie in his 50th year in professional baseball, and his club is still in it for a playoff spot. He makes a move, and we return in just a moment.
Oh no, that was Bongo. Fourth, 3, bottom 7th. Astros trying to put something together. You know, you can subscribe to MLB.TV today and take advantage of new low pricing and see everything Astros out of market game live online. But you can also follow the pennant races with other teams. You can also get an idea what this whole thing's about. You can visit Astros.com for more details. Blackout rules apply, of course, with the Astros in some markets, but find out what's going on down the stretch in the pennant race and get yourself all signed up for next year, guys.
Thank you, Greg. Right-hander Philippe Aumont comes in. He's 22 years old, from Canada, British Columbia, and has made the move to the big leagues this season for the first time in his career. He was a first-round pick of Seattle in 07, traded for Cliff Lee in 09, and he's 0-1 with an ERA of 3.
Philippe Aumont, hard-throwing Frenchman. Came in the other night and struggled, but he'd been on a nice roll, and when he pitched here, it had been his 5th consecutive day. I think he just had a gas a little bit.
Brandon Laird is the pinch hitter for Scott Moore. He's 2 for 11 with a homer. Aumont was tagged for 2 runs in 2/3 of an inning. He walked 2 and hit a batter Thursday. He delivers ball 1.
Looks like he got pinched right there by Dale Scott, and he probably has a case. Look at that ball.
He caught quite a bit of the plate.
He did.
Runs that one up and in, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Aumont was the loser as the Astros staged that 3-run rally in the 8th to come from behind and win it Thursday 6-4. He got the first man he faced, Maxwell, and then he walked Castro and Dominguez and hit Scott Moore. 2 balls, 1 strike. Brandon Laird hit .254. AAA Scranton had 31 doubles, 15 homers there. And the Astros picked him up on waivers from the Yankee organization. He can play first and third base. Off-speed pitch, ball 3, and it's 3-1 here for Laird. Almont got a major league save in his first save opportunity at Cincinnati on September 3rd. That was his 4th major league appearance. Came up from AAA Lehigh Valley on the 20th of August. Upstairs, and now a walk to Laird has loaded the bases for Justin Maxwell.
Yeah, it's tough pressure situations to be putting this kid into. It's his first big league time. Phillies feel like they still have a shot at this wild card. You know, you have been going along nicely, and that's the tendency for a manager just to continue to ride that hot hand. They really don't have a lot of veteran arms out there in that bullpen, guys that have been through the fires. Closer Jonathan Papelbon obviously has been around a good long while, but they have a lot of inexperienced relief pitchers.
Now, Papelbon has done an excellent job, but he has not pitched in this series. Charlie Manuel's club has lost 2 of 3 here, and a loss today would drop the Phillies below 500. Justin Maxwell is 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts and a ground ball back to the pitcher. His 9-game hitting streak on the line. He has 3 career grand slams and a .444 bases loaded batting average. And that's ball 1. He had 96, but out of the zone. Matt Dominguez is on deck. Yankees beat Tampa Bay 6-4. Kuroda the winner. That's a strike. 1-1. Altuve reached on an error. Paredes and Laird walked. Maxwell started to chase. He checked his swing. It's 2-1. Rafael Soriano got his 40th save today for the Yankees. Baltimore is trailing in the early stages at Oakland 2-1, top of the 2nd inning. The Orioles now need a win to stay 1 behind New York. Over first base, Howard looking at it. It's a fair ball. Altuve scores. Paredes to the plate. Stop sign at third, and the Astros grab the lead, 5-4. On a bloop double by Justin Maxwell, giving him a 10-game hitting streak, and the Astros again stage a late inning rally to grab the lead. 48 runs batted in for J-Max.
Yeah, just a nice job here by J-Max. A 2-seam fastball moving in on him. Didn't really get good sinking action, but moving in off the barrel towards the hands, and he's just able to fight it off. And a little good fortune as it stays fair to score 2.
Big hit. Now the infielders come in. Runners at 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Dominguez the batter. He's 0 for 3. And it's ball 1. This has been some kind of a series for the Astros in terms of coming from behind.
10-game hitting streak for Maxwell is now the longest for an Astro hitter this year.
Justin DeFreitas warming up for the Phils. Strike makes it 1-1. Justin Maxwell certainly furthering his bid for a spot on the 2013 Astros with what he is doing here in the month of September. In the hits the mask of Ruiz. Maybe the throw. He's down. Really caught that one in a bad spot. And Charlie Manuel, one of the Phillies athletic trainers, out. Shoots Ruiz after that pitch bounced up from being in the dirt. Looks like it got him in the throat area.
Up underneath the mask. This is a nasty breaking ball. That way out in front of home plate. Not a whole lot on a catcher that's not protected in some fashion, but that's a danger spot, and that ball gets up underneath that little extension at the bottom of his mask.
1-2 on Dominguez. Carlos Corcoran out on deck.
Jordan Lyles is off the hook. No win for Roy Halladay, so he will remain 99 games above 500 in his major league career.
Justin DeFreitas and Jeremy Horst in the Phillies bullpen. Xavier Cedeno in the Astros bullpen. Bouncer into left field. Will score Laird, and here's Maxwell coming to the plate. The throw from Brown, not in time. A high hopping two-run single by Dominguez, and the Astros lead it by 3, 7-4.
A little blooper followed by a little chopper. How about that? Making amends for those hard outs off the bat of Altuve earlier in the ball game.
Good read by Laird. Maxwell ran right off through home plate to make it 7-4. Charlie Manuel out with another move back at home. The lead. It's 7-4 now. They have scored 4 in the inning, and there's only one out. They have Dominguez at first base. Right-hander Justin DeFreitas comes in with a major league ERA of 0 for 5 appearances.
Freitas, 6'4", 215-pound right-hander, throws hard. Average fastball a little above 93 miles an hour. Pitched a rookie ball, A ball, and AAA before being called up to the big leagues this year. 0-1 with a 2.49 ERA and 17 appearances at AAA. Last year he was 2-3 with a 3.73 in 28 appearances with their AAA club.
He's from Ventura, California. Went to Ventura College. Not too far from where Matt Dominguez, who's the runner at first, grew up. Now it's Carlos Corporán. He homered in the 6th inning. At that point, an important run because the Astros pulled it within 1 at 4-3 when Corporán went deep. Now it's looking bigger. It hit the umpire, Dale Scott. Dale Scott really got it on that one from DeFreitas. Don't know what the situation was. Let's see Ruiz.
Ruiz got a piece of it, but then off the top of the thigh there for Dale Scott. Maybe the wrist as well. Boy, it's been an ugly inning on a lot of fronts.
It's ruled a pass ball for Ruiz.
Started with that error after the sparkling glove work by Martinez. The errant throw. A couple of walks, then a blooper, then a chopper.
Corporán fouls it. It's 1-1.
Now a pass ball pushes another insurance run into scoring position. Corporán with a big swing last time took Halladay way out of here.
1-1 for DeFreitas now. Pitcher Wesley Wright is on deck. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 8 hits for the Astros, 6 for the Phillies. Houston rallying here to grab the lead late. Astros led it 2-1 on a Scott Moore 3rd inning homer. Then the Phillies grabbed the lead with 3 in the 5th.
Xavier Cedeno warming up in the Astros pen.
Foul ball keeps the count at 1-2. Freitas gave up an unearned run on 1 hit Friday night, and the Phillies 12-6 win over the Astros. Phillies have an all-time record at Minute Maid Park of 18-26, a .409 winning percentage. That's their 3rd lowest at any of the current National League ballparks in which they've played at least 10 games. Ball fouled away.
You know, the Phillies have not been a good team all year. They played their way back into this wild card conversation with a recent hot streak and the fact that those other clubs have basically treaded water. They won 7 in a row coming in here and had to feel like they've got to win 3 out of 4. And they're in jeopardy of losing 3 out of 4.
Ground ball will advance the runner to 3rd. On out number 2. Corporán grounding out to Utley. And now Wesley Wright's being called back for a pinch hitter. Jason Castro. Hector Ambrose in 1 inning allowed 1 hit, no runs. He had no walks and struck out 2. Wesley Wright in 1 inning allowed no hits, no runs, had a hit batter and 1 strikeout. Wesley now can be the winning pitcher. Castro, who was a starting catcher last night, had a fine game going 2 for 4 and lining out. He scored 2 runs in the Astros 5-0 win. Caught that combined shutout by Dallas Keuchel and 4 relievers. Now Jason in a pinch hitting role, 2 for 7 with an RBI. For the season, he's hitting .265. He has 2 homers, 23 runs batted in. He has a .346 on base average. And they'll put him on. To work to Tyler Green with 2 outs and runners at 1st and 3rd. Unless another one of those intentional pitches gets by the catcher. And then there won't be runners at 1st and 3rd.
I'm afraid he must be working with Larry Anderson on his intentional walk technique.
Andy would just sort of lob it like a grenade.
Yeah, step and flip it and just hope that it comes down somewhere in the vicinity of the catcher.
We always wondered why more guys didn't try to steal when he was putting somebody on intentionally. It would have been easy to do. There's the free pass to Castro.
couldn't throw an intentional walk. He had the yips. He couldn't do it. He could throw a slider on the black. But asked him just to flip one up there to throw an intentional walk, and he just couldn't do it. Developed the case of the thing.
Tyler Green is 0 for 2 with a walk. He is the 9th Astro to bat here in the 7th inning. Milwaukee shut out the Mets 3-0.
In the 7th, win the game.
Martinez on the short hop makes another low throw. This time Howard comes up with it, and the Astros bat around here in the 7th inning. Justin Maxwell with a big 2-run double over the first baseman Howard, right on the right field line. The Astros take the lead, and they're up by 3.
Lead as we go to the top of the 8th, and it was only a half an inning ago, but you got to see this man right here, Joe Prince, sing God Bless America as he does each and every Sunday. And you've been doing this for a long time, but I needed to talk to you today because you're coming up on a very special birthday on Wednesday.
That's right. It'll be my, what birthday is it?
94, maybe?
Oh, yeah, I forgot the number.
Well, that's all right. You're entitled to that. Yeah. Take us back to when you first started your first national anthem, your first singing at the Dome.
With the Astros in the Astrodome, 1985. That was my first, and I was singing, using a tuxedo. I was wearing a tuxedo in those days. But that was my big thrill. And my biggest thrill was singing in the Dome with a capacity crowd of 52,000 people, and that was a thrill of my life.
Yeah, that is huge, and of course you've been doing it for so many big occasions, so many big games here, and I know it means a lot to you, not just to sing, but the songs that you sing, God Bless America, and the national anthem. You're a very patriotic man.
Yes, I am. I completed my 4+ years in the service, and I was classified as a entertainment specialist, you see, so I was still singing in the Army before I came back home.
Of course, and your voice is still just, the pipes are still there as good as they've ever been. How long can we foresee you doing this for us?
Well, I take care of my voice, take my breathing exercises, and I practice just about every other day. And I have to do that to keep that voice in shape and keep that lung moving.
All right. Well, happy birthday to you on Wednesday, and we look forward, of course, to hearing Joe sing God Bless America next Sunday for the final time of the season.
That's right. Thank you so much, and it's an honor and a pleasure always singing and performing for the Houston Astros.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe. Guys?
Oh, what a great guy. Thank you, Patty. There's a strike to Howard. Xavier Cedeno in the game. He has a 1-2 count on Howard, who had a big 2-run double to left field in the 5th inning. Matt Downs is the left fielder. Brandon Laird's the first baseman. Cedeno's the pitcher in a 7-4 game. And he struck him out. The infield shift on, no contact from Howard, one down.
Well, no surprise there. Cedeno has struck out to better than a third of the left-handed batters he has faced this year, and he gets the big guy here, and his day is done.
That's it. Tony DeFrancesco has Justin Maxwell in center field, and he will have a new pitcher in just a moment. Has turned in different directions. It's now 7-4 Houston. The Dogs got to parade on the field before the game. And now the Astros move to pitcher number 5. Mickey Story coming out of the bullpen to give a right-hander for Tony DeFrancesco for this confrontation. He's 0-1 with a 2.92 ERA.
Bullpen was outstanding last night in support of Dallas Keuchel. And getting it done here again this afternoon.
Story has made that recovery from being hit in the right jaw and face by a line drive on Wednesday against the Cubs. Carlos Ruiz 0 for 3. Ground out 2 strikeouts. I think he had a successful return. And he gets a foul ball there for strike 1. Not all that easy to do sometimes after getting hit in the face with a line drive. He struck out both batters he faced in last night's game in relief of Dallas Keuchel in the 6th inning. Came in with a man on base. Gets a swing and a miss there. No balls, 2 strikes. Willie Peralta got the win for Milwaukee in that shutout game. 3-0 over the Mets. That one hit him. Story with the breaking ball getting away from him, hitting Ruiz on the 0-2 count.
Yeah, the way Ruiz reacted, it looked like the ball almost went behind him without hitting him, because Ruiz didn't react initially to take his base. And maybe just a little bit of a glancing blow.
Mayberry's the batter.
It's conceivable where that ball could clip the back of your jersey and you wouldn't even feel it.
It's possible. Mayberry's 0 for 3. Ball 1. Story's curveball, a very important pitch for him. Willie Peralta went to 2-0 for Milwaukee with that 3-0 win over the Mets, beating Chris Young. John Axford got his 29th save.
Got a wild one going on in Wrigley today. The Pirates had a big lead of 6-1, but Chicago scored 4 in the bottom of the 5th to make it 6-5. The Pirates have responded in the top of the 6th with 3 of their own, so now it's 9-5 for the Yinzers.
It's been a wild ride for those Bucco fans this season. Fastball foul back. 1-2. Mickey Story has made an impression on Tony DeFrancesco. They've been with each other for 4 years now. 2 in the Oakland organization, 2 in the Houston organization. He's making a pretty strong bid to be on the 2013 Astros with his work here in September. Joined the club August 3rd. Ground ball off the mound into center field. Mayberry singles Ruiz to second, and the Phillies have an uprising going here in the 8th. Dominic Brown coming up. Two on, one out for Brown, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. Michael Martinez on deck. Brown with that long frame has some leverage. He hit a 2-run homer in the 7th inning Friday night in the 12-6 Phillies win. And floats up there at 75, and he takes it for ball 1. The Angels won a close one at Kansas City 4-3. Dan Herron ran his record to 11-11. Kevin Jepson got his second save. Striking, it's 1-1. Angels right in the thick of things in the American League wild card race. 2.5 behind Baltimore. Punched on a line foul outside third. It's 1-2. Noticed in the Houston Chronicle today, in the editorial written by Jim Crane, that the Astros are going to unveil the new uniforms on Friday, November 2nd. That's rocked out to right center field. Plenty of room out there. And that bounces and is cut off by Maxwell. The 2 runs are going to score to make it 7-6 now. A 2-run double by Brown. And the Phillies come roaring right back to trail by 1. Brown now has driven in 20. That's his 9th double of the season. And all 3 of these hitters, Story has been in front of him. He's had 2 strikes in the count.
A pretty swing there by Dominic Brown as he keeps his nose right in there and extends through that fastball from Story. Ruiz, who was hit by a pitch, scores, and then Mayberry, who had singled, comes in behind. Carlos Corpron out to chat with Story. Lance Nix is announced as the pinch hitter for Michael Martinez. Martinez is a switch hitter, but left-handed. He's 5 for 51. Tony DeFrancesco is going to make another move. 3 batters have reached since Story came in. It's a 1-run lead, 7-6 Houston. Back in a moment.
We're leading 7-4 until a minute ago. Bring in their closer, Wilton Lopez, coming in to face the pinch hitter Lance Nix. Lopez 6-3 with a 2.30 ERA. And he's allowed 4 home runs and struck out 51. He doesn't walk many, does he, JD?
No, he does not. His strikeout to walk ratio is outstanding. And he's going to attack it. Sinker, slider, changeup.
He comes in with a runner at second and 1 out, and Lance Nix, who was born in Houston, 31 years old, pinch hitting, 262, 3 homers, 16 runs batted in for Nix. Spent some time on the disabled list, and since he returned from the DL, he's hit .213 in 61 at bats. He's out with the left calf strain.
We talk a lot over the course of the summers about the save rule, and it can be a very cheap statistic sometimes. If Lope gets one here today, he will have earned it.
You bet.
1-run lead. Tying runner in scoring position. 8th inning. He's got 5 outs to go. He better have his left-handed game working, because it's Nix, then Shearholtz, who came in the double switch. He's next. He's a left-handed hitter. Then Rollins, a switch hitter, and then Pierre Utley and Howard, all left-handed hitters.
Strike 1 to Nix. As a pinch hitter, he's 4 for 19. He's driven in 3. Pitch to hit there, and he fouls it. No balls, 2 strikes to Lance Nix. Drafted by Texas in 2000. Then he was traded to Milwaukee. He's bounced around to Cincinnati, Washington. And last year he hit 16 homers for Washington and 324 at bats before the Phillies picked him up.
If they had a National League arm wrestling competition, he might be your guy.
Oh, yeah. But he struck out. 2 outs as Lopez gets a tough out on the pinch hitter Nix. And it's Shearholtz coming up.
That ball just disappeared on Nix. Started at the knees, finished at the toes.
Nate Shearholtz, the right fielder, has not hit since he put on a Phillies uniform. They'd love for him to come through here and at least tie this game. He's hitting .217 for the Phillies. 1 homer and 46 at bats. Time called.
Corporon did that to him. Lopez is mad at Shearholtz and Dale Scott, but it was Corporon who asked for timeout.
Yeah.
Scott explaining that to the Astros dugout. They were yelling at Dale, "Hey, you can't give the hitter time there." And Dale said, "I didn't. I gave your catcher time there."
Yeah. There you see it. Something Carlos did not like. And now we'll see Rex Jones come to the mound, the assistant athletic trainer. Make sure everything is all right physically here with Wilton Lopez. If it's not, it's going to get very interesting. Shaking his right hand a little bit. He's going to try a pitch or two. We're not aware that he has been experiencing any kinds of problems.
I didn't see anything in the sequence to Nix that would make you believe anything was wrong.
Evidently Corporon had some doubt about something. That's why he called time, but Lope assuring everybody he's all right to continue. And Shearholtz steps up. Shearholtz traded from the Giants to the Phillies in the Hunter Pence deal. It's a chance to get a big hit for his club. Takes that one, and it's ball 1. Shearholtz had a walk-off single against Colorado September 7th. Done well in his career as a pinch hitter. He's in the game now in a double switch, but it's his first at bat. He taps it towards second. Quick play by Altuve over to Laird to end the Phillies' 8th. They come up with 2 runs on 2 hits. They leave a man in scoring position. It's 7-6 Houston.
If it's stylish, intelligent, safe, and affordable, it's probably a Hyundai. And that little fella or gal will fit in any Hyundai.
Oh, easily.
Want to wish all of our Jewish viewers and those of the Jewish faith a happy Rosh Hashanah, the New Year, which is starting tonight.
It's 7-6. The Astros lead it. They come up in the home eighth inning with Matt Downs leading it off. He struck out in the seventh. He bats here against DeFreitas. This one in the air to left field. Dominic Brown, one out. The Astros batted around in the seventh inning, scoring 4. Phillies coming back with 2 in the eighth to narrow it to a 1-run ball game right now with Rollins and then the pitcher spot and Utley due up in the ninth. The third baseman is Kevin Franson. Jose Altuve has reached on an error, stolen a base, and scored a run. He's 0 for 4 in this game. That puts Jose at 77 runs scored for the season. He looks at strike one. White Sox won at Minnesota 9-2. Jake Peavy is 11-11.
Top of the order due for the Phillies in the top half of the ninth. Tacking a run on here wouldn't be a bad idea.
Oh, no balls, 2 strikes.
Last thing I mentioned, all the left-handed bats coming up that Lopez will have to deal with. Obviously, Pierre had left the game in the double switch, so he is not in the 2-hole right now. DeFreitas is.
Altuve looks at it. It's a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Jose. Well, the White Sox win in Minnesota. That puts the onus on Detroit to win to stay 1 game back. Tigers are trailing at Cleveland 5-3, bottom of the 6th inning. To right field. Sure holds there.
And those two teams will meet tomorrow. A makeup game for a game that was rained out the other day in Chicago. Detroit and Chicago playing tomorrow in the Windy City. That will be their final meeting of the year.
Jimmy Paredes has been on 3 times in this game with a single and 2 walks. He's scored 2 runs. Cincinnati pushed across a run in the 11th and leads Miami 5-4. Bottom of the 11th now. Strike one to Jimmy. Jonathan Broxton's in the game for Cincinnati. Reds have been resting their closer Aroldis Chapman, and Broxton's been filling in. To left field, Dominic Brown to make it a 1-2-3-8. We move to the 9th, 7-6. Houston leads Philadelphia.
All started with a 2-run shot by Scott Moore, 2-run homer. That gave the Astros a 2-1 lead. Now trailing 4-2, it was a solo shot that was blasted by Corcoran in the 6th inning. 7th inning, this little bloop double by Maxwell played it 2 and put the Astros on top for the first time late in the game. And then 2 more runs were added on this bouncing single by Dominguez. The Astros were leading 7-4. It's 7-6 now. We go to the top of the 9th, and let's go back up to Brownie and JD.
Jimmy Rollins leads it off. He has 2 hits and a walk in this game. There is strike 1. He has good numbers against Wilton Lopez, 3 for 5 with a homer. 1-run lead for the Astros. Rollins has scored twice for the Phils. They will pinch hit with Eric Kratz coming up next. Lopez has gotten 2 outs with a man in scoring position in the 8th inning with a 1-run lead. Now he's at 1-1 on Rollins. It's a 2-ball 1-strike count, and Rollins has been stealing bases in this series, so if he gets on first, the Astros will watch him very carefully, with Kratz coming up next for the pitcher, DeFreitas. In the air by Rollins, fouling out of play. 2-2. Really important to keep Rollins off base here. Leading off the inning with his wheels and the impact that his legs can make on a 1-run game.
And that's what makes him so dangerous, because he does have the ability to drive the ball out of the ballpark too.
He does drive it to right center field. That is a 1-hop out to center fielder Maxwell, and a single for Rollins. His 3rd hit of the game. Looks like it was going to go further than that out to right center.
Yeah.
Look at it.
I think this ball was knuckling. He hit the ball very hard, and look at the funky action on it at the end there.
Yeah.
I think that ball was knuckling, and it just kind of slammed on the brakes.
Well, Rollins on for the 4th time as Eric Kratz pinch hits. And he's been doing a lot of catching when Chuch Ruiz was out with an injury. Kratz has excellent numbers. Good slugging percentage.
Interesting situation here. You got a sinker baller on the mound who gets a lot of ground balls. Kratz, a double play candidate in that he's not a real speedy guy.
Kratz has a .535 slugging percentage with 9 homers and 129 at bats. As a pinch hitter, 2 for 7, and both of those 2 hits were pinch homers. Goes foul. No balls, 2 strikes to Eric Kratz. Chuch Ruiz is being eased back into the catching situation. Kratz had an RBI double in 4 tries as the starter Thursday night. Ruiz started Friday night, and Kratz was back in the lineup last night, going 1 for 4. Out to right center field. Paredes back in front of that bullpen wall. He makes the catch. Here's Rollins tagging and going to second. And the throw is just a little bit offline. 1 out, a runner at second base. Good alert base running by Rollins.
Yeah, unbelievably good base running by Rollins, because this is a ball 90% of the time guys are going to go halfway on, and understandably, because you're not sure that the outfielder is going to track this one down, and you want to give yourself a chance to score. But he made the determination that Paredes was going to be able to make a play on it, hustled back, tagged, and got in ahead of a good strong throw from Jimmy.
Now he's at second for Chase Utley. Utley is 0 for 1 with a sac fly, a pair of walks, both intentional. He drilled that ball deep to right in the 7th inning that Paredes got.
They're going to appeal this over at first base.
He might have left too soon. Certainly worth the no cost of an appeal. Put the ball in play first, and now Utley's in the box. So now Lopez steps off, and
Dale Scott, the home plate umpire, had the call.
Gave the safe sign. Now we're ready to go again. Utley scorched that liner deep to right in the last inning, in the 7th inning, the last time he batted. He's 1 for 3 with a homer against Lopez. That's strike one. Ryan Howard on deck. This is the tough part of it. Phillies have the guys at the plate who have done so much damage over the course of their careers. Just the two guys they would want up there, even though they may not necessarily be torrid. In the air, and Maxwell heads for left center field. And it's caught there by Downs.
Earlier in the game, they walked Chase Utley twice intentionally to get to Howard. This time they pitched to Utley. And now we'll see if they pitch to Howard or not with the base open.
Howard is 3 for 4 against Lopez.
They got the the left-right argument says put Howard on here. But Chucho Ruiz has been the best hitter in the Philly lineup all year.
Going to put him on. Howard had the 2-run double to left field in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 4. Intentional walk here will bring up Ruiz. Ruiz today is 0 for 3. He's been hit by a pitch. He has struck out twice. Ruiz is 1 for 2 against Lopez.
Just anxious moments for a manager. It's kind of a tough call. Howard, without power, certainly of the two guys, the one most likely to hit the ball out of the ballpark and give his club a lead. But he's got way more holes in his swing than does Ruiz right now.
True.
Howard's a guy who can be pitched to. He's a dangerous slugger, but he's the kind of guy, especially in this situation, where he's going to be willing to go out of the zone to try to drive in that run.
Now runners at first and second, 2 outs, and it's up to Ruiz. Ruiz started the season 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Since then, he's hit 400 with runners in scoring position, 30 for 75. Strike one for Wilton Lopez.
That's what I like about Lopez. There's no fear in his approach. He might get beat right there attacking Ruiz with that first pitch, but he knows the value of getting ahead.
I'm called by Ruiz. Jonathan Papelbon is warming up for the Phillies. Rolled up the line at first. And what a series for the Astros. They win 3 of 4 from the Philadelphia Phillies. A hard-fought come-from-behind win for the Houston club today. And that's twice in this 3-game series. The Astros rescued one with late-inning rallies coming from behind. Final score 7-6 Astros.